welcome to Jackson's Jolly History Walks. We are back after a whole year of not doing videos due to some reasons. We are in Portsmouth and we are going to be doing a video about the maritime history of this great city. And just behind me we've got HMS Warrior. She was built in 1860 as the last resort for the arms race against our old enemy, France. I don't know why they always picked on us. But Warrior was built on the River Thames by Thames Works, Thames Iron Work. And the West Ham logo, the West Ham football team, that is actually the hammer from Thames Iron Work. When Warrior was launched, it was so cold that morning that the bottom of the hull froze to the slipway, so they couldn't actually launch it. And she was built with iron throughout. So she was the first iron-hulled steamship. Ran on 2 steam engines and could run on sail and steam. And she never fired a shot in anger. Never. She was built expecting a full-blown war. Never happened. She instead acted as a guard ship for the royal yacht Prince Albert, and Queen Victoria hated the sight of her and couldn't stand it. Now a museum ship in Portsmouth Historic Dockyard. So we are here on the Camber, and interesting fact about the Camber, yes, it stinks of fish, but it's the main fishing port in Portsmouth. And in 1586, Ralph Lane brought the first potatoes and tobacco into the Camber when they first arrived in England. And he was sent to do it by Sir Walter Raleigh. If you don't know who he is, Sir Walter, he is a traitor. Well, he was marked as a traitor by King James I. And he was executed in Old Palace Yard in London, which we now know as the Houses of Parliament. It's a beautiful setting here. What do you call a fish with no eye? Psh. Anyway, there's a pub there. Do you want to go to the pub now? So we're in Spice Island. In Nelson's time, this was very famous. It has a rich and dark history. Spice Island was where all the brothels, all the pubs, all the inns or taverns they were called back then. And it was full of prostitutes, drunkenness and fights. And the press gangs, which were a group of merchantmen that were hired by the King's Navy to legalise kidnap fishermen, seaworthymen and press them into the Royal Navy. So we're now next to the Square Tower and the Portsmouth Pot Walls just here. And where we're standing right now is Caxton Square. And Caxton Square basically means in the late 1800s, there was a big capstan here, lots of wooden poles out here, and they used men to push it around. And that lifted up, chain like that. And it blocked the harbour mouth. Done that in case the French decided to try and come into the port, the chain would stop them. But what I've also noticed is that bollard. It's actually a real gun. That's it. So we're standing in the hot walls of Old Portsmouth, and these were defensive structures that was actually resurrected by Henry VIII to protect Portsmouth Harbour. As you can see, the old gun ports are still here, with the rails and where there is control, where the guns go into fire. And the round tower behind us, every time a Royal Navy ship departs on deployment, That's where the families go. So we're in the Royal Garrison Church. You may notice it's got no roof. Plain and simple, it was bombed during the Second World War, and Winston Churchill didn't want it to be repaired because he thought it looked nice. Here's a fact. The royal wedding of King Charles II and Catherine of Braganza happened in this very church in Portsmouth. The hero of the hour. This is the statue of Vice Admiral Horatio Nelson, known as Britannia's God of War. Nelson fell on the quarterdeck of HMS Victory during the Battle of Trafalgar, 1805. A shot entered his left shoulder, cut his spinal column and slowly filled his chest cavity with blood. After 4 hours of fighting, Nelson passed away in the orlop deck, and he's known today as the ultimate hero of the nation. And he wanted to deter Napoleon from invasion of Britain. Just think, if we lost that war, Napoleon could have been standing up there looking down on me laughing. So we just come out, had a lovely pint in the Dolphin, very lovely pint, cold and nice and refreshing. This pub is interesting because in that pub there is a framed, how am I going to word this, a framed window frame that dates back to 1805, and just kind of see it there, HN, and they believe that was actually carved by the man himself, Lord Nelson.